every corner, made a mess but found nothing. Damn, she was glad no man had to watch her do this. She dived into her laundry basket, ferreted around, and came up with a pair of knickers a week old but only a day worn. She turned them inside out, stepped into them, ready for battle. With a sigh, Mattie Storrin threw open the bathroom door and got on with her day. As dusk began to settle across the June skies, 4 sets of HMI mercury oxide television lamps clicked on with a dull thud, painting the front of the building with high-intensity power. The brilliant light pierced deep behind the mock Georgian facade of the party's headquarters. A curtain fluttered at a third-floor window as someone took a quick glance at the scene outside. The moth also saw the lamps. It was waiting for the approaching night, resting in a crevice of one of the nearby towers of St. John, the graceful church built by Wren in the middle of Smith Square. The church had long been deconsecrated, St. John dismissed, but its 4 limestone towers still dominated this now godless square in the heart of Westminster. They stared down, frowning in disapproval. But not the moth. It began to tingle with excitement. It stretched its wings, drawn by 10,000 watts and 1,000,000 years of instinct. The moth strained in the early evening air, forcing its body along the river of light. It flew above the heads of the growing crowd, beyond the bustle and gathering pace of preparations. Nearer and nearer it flew, eager, passionate, erratic, ambitious, heedless of everything other than the power it was being drawn to, power beyond dreams, beyond resistance. It had no choice. There was a bright flash as the moth's body hit the lens a millisecond before its wings wrapped around the searing glass and vaporized. Its charred and blackened carcass gave off little vapors of despair as it tumbled towards the ground. The night had gained its first victim. Another of the night's early victims was propping up the varnished bar at the Marquis of Granby, just around the corner from the growing commotion. The original Marquis of Granby had been a popular military figure more than 200 years earlier, and had more pubs named after him than any other figure in the land. But the Marquis had succumbed to politics, lost his way, and died in debt and distress. Much the same fate lay in store for Charles Collingridge, according to his many tolerant friends. Not that Charlie Collingridge had ever been elected, but neither had the Marquis. It wasn't the done thing in those early days. Collingridge was in his mid-50s, looked older, worn, and hadn't had a particularly glorious military career. 2 years of national service that had left him with little more than a sense of his own inadequacy in the order of life. Charlie had always tried to do the decent thing, but he was accident-prone. It happens when you have a drink habit. His day had started early with a shave and a tie, but now the stubble was beginning to show, and the tie was hanging at half-mast. The eyes told the barman that the large vodka he had served 2 glasses ago hadn't been the first of the day. But Charlie was a genial drunk, always ready with a smile and a generous word. He pushed his empty glass back across the counter. "Another?" the barman asked, dubious. "And one for yourself, my good man," Charlie replied, reaching for his wallet. "Ah, but it seems I'm a little short," he muttered, staring at a solitary note in disbelief. He searched through his pocket, pulled out keys, a grey handkerchief, and a few coins. "I'm sure, somewhere." "The note will do," the barman replied. "Nothing for me, thanks. It's going to be a long night." "Yes, it will. My younger brother, Hal, you know him?" The barman shook his head, pushed the drink across the varnish, glad the old drunk was out of money and soon out of his bar. "You don't know Hal?" Charlie asked in surprise. "You must." He sipped. "Everyone knows Hal." Another sip. "He's the Prime Minister." Chapter 2. It's a very good idea for a politician to have vision. Yes, the vision thing. Just the ticket. Really useful, don't you think? Why, on a clear day, most politicians can see as far as... Well, I know some who can see almost as far as Battersea. Francis